Hello students, welcome to English online class. I am Shomogosh. Today I am going to read a story that is the ghost ships. Everybody I know that is very interested in the ghost stories. But sometimes we get the logic in the ghost stories. Sometimes it's been scientific. Now this time we have to discover the history, the mystery behind it. So let's go. What's about the ghost ships? We have also heard about some ships. If you are a very good follower of the Discovery Channel, then you might have been seen some of the stories that had been showed in that platform in that channel. That the ships were drowned, they are sinked, and it became a ghost ship because something awkward, weird thing was seen in that ships. And although there is another story behind it, when the ships were destroyed, the reason that were very awkward. So that's why these are named after the ghost ships. We might have been seeing some extraordinary thing, but we are not talking about that extraordinary thing. We're talking about what was done by the scientists and also who were discovering those things. So they had their knowledge, they had the intellectuality, and still they had their own logical platform. But still, they couldn't say anything about it. So let's start. There were no signs of foul play or the bad weather. These things very common. Without any reason, there was no bad weather. These things happens, and that's why the scientist doesn't have any knowledge about it. Then why did the crew of Mali Celeste and Carol R. Deering leave their respective ships? Why? So the captains are responsible. You should know about that. The captains were very responsible to take care about their ships until their death. If they are fleeing from that ships by leaving the passengers in the ships, then they would be hanged. They would be sentenced to death because they should not leave their ships if there is any passenger left over in the ship. You might have been seeing the Titanic movie where the captain was waiting for his death and also he sacrificed his life because his passengers are not left yet. So, where did they end up? Were they eaten by sharks? Were they eaten by sharks? Or sucked into an alien spaceship? This theory comes every time alien. That is not in our logic. Or we believe that supernatural power that is coming from another planet that we think some another intellectual uh, in, more intellectual than the human being is walking here. Is It's their hidden process. Maybe the ship came in their process in their work, and that's why they have been destroyed. How come not a single person survived or managed to escape? Why? So every time we see that some of the people can survive, but why not a single person can survive or escape? Were there no eyewitness? Is it possible that an accident is happening and there is no eyewitness? In some process, it is possible because it's in the middle of the sea and we can't measure that the sea how long it is, so it's not possible to go with the two ships or four ships. It's not a group, so it is very alone in the middle of the sea. So who will be there for the witness? But it is a very impossible thing that everyone has been killed or escaped. It's very rare to see. Why didn't the captain or crew send out SOS signal? That we call SOS. That's for emergency calls. Why the captains should send the SOS? Why they didn't send this SOS? So they were specially trained, highly trained captains. In any moment, if you are viewing any things, if you are Just you were thinking of these things, that maybe these things is gonna be happen, so they send this SOS and very previously. But why didn't they say anything? Why didn't they send any SOS? That was a very mysterious. So before starting of this chapter, I want to tell you that if you are interested in Bermuda Triangle, that how the ships or aeroplanes are gone destroyed or it was misplaced. It happened also in our recent years. If you find from 2000 to 2020, you can find so many planes also in our modern world, and ships. There has been these have been totally vanished from the middle of the sky or the middle of the sea. So there was no kind of message, no kind of emergency call, nothing was there from the captains. So why we still cannot do anything? From the middle of the sky, suddenly the plane disappears in the Bermuda Triangle, and it's very sometimes. If you go there and you can investigate there, and you are not facing any problem. So it's like a ghostly things going on there. Any supernatural power or any alien power, we believe. Launched in 1860, the ship known as the Amazon earned the reputation of being a cursed ship. So it's not a reputation of being a cursed ship. Cursed means the opposite of blazed. We want to be blazed, but not the cursed. The vessel was involved in many accidents and went through a dozen different owners. So it happens in the kind of business. When any accident happens, then the owners, uh, they are very fearful about that, and that's why they don't want to keep these ships or equipments with them. So they just sell it. No owner possessed the ship for very long, since ill luck soon followed. So it was continued. It was sold by every time by every owner, but still it was continued. Around 1870, after the first 10 years of my misfortune, the ship was sent to New York, where it underwent extensive repairs and was finally renamed Mary Celeste. So actually, imagine that ship, Amazon, was repaired as Mary Celeste with the new name in the year of 1870. So just look at that. It is 10 years, 1860 to 1870. 1860 it was the launching date, and 1870 it was totally repaired. On 7th November 1872, means just after 2 years of the repairing, Mary Celeste was bound for Genoa, Italy, and had a cargo of 1,700 barrels of alcohol. So actually, it was not only for the passengers but also for the business. So it was carrying 1,700 for barrels of alcohol. Also, sometimes it has time to go from one country to another country, so the ship has to carry the equipments or the foods for the passengers. Because middle of the sea, it's not a good idea for any food or anything. All seemed a welcome departure from New York, but the Captain Benjamin Briggs, along with his wife, daughter, 7 or 8 crew members, and other passengers were never seen or heard from again. So they were disappeared actually. So Captain Benjamin Briggs, the name was given there, and his wife, daughter, 7 or 8 crew members, they all were gone. They all disappeared mysteriously, but the ship did not, nor did the cargo. Oh, the people were disappeared, not the cargo. That is mostly mysterious. So, if the accident happened, then the ship should have been destroyed, but the ship was not destroyed, only the passengers gone. How? The ship was found a month later on the sea, derelict by the Dei Gracia ship. Dei Gracia is another ship who actually helped them to come back or to find that Mary Celeste ship in the sea. The captain of the Gracia knew Captain Briggs and was bewildered as he couldn't comprehend what he saw. So the gracious captain said that the Captain Briggs knew that Captain Briggs personally, he knew, and was bewildered, so mesmerized, to see that he couldn't comprehend what he saw. Actually, they are specially trained. Um, if they are seeing anything, if they are just feeling anything, they had to send the SOS message. And it is too quick, and their nervous systems are duly examined. That's why they are the captain. But still, it was a very amazing fact that they couldn't, I mean, Captain Briggs couldn't send any SOS message or couldn't say anything. They had their code to tell to their authorities, but he couldn't. Captain Briggs was a fine and experienced captain, it's not a novice, and it was very strange to learn that the ship seemed to have been abandoned by the captain and crew. The ship was not in a bad condition, no. And why we will tell these things? Because the ship doesn't have any scratch, even. And there were no signs of an attack. No shark attack, nothing. No whale attack, shark attack. Then what happened to them? The navigation tools were still on board, and so were the barrels. The ship was still seaworthy. Seaworthy means it was still in a condition that you can go in it. So you can take it and sail through the sea. It was in that condition. So what happened? If there was no accident, so what happened to Captain Briggs and his crew members? I'm completing here with the mystery. Obviously, in the second video, we will go through that second part of this story. But still, search for it in internet. This is a very true story. So search for it. What the reason behind it? It will be very pleasurable to talk with you in this matter because this matter is very interesting to me, and I hope it's for all. Thank you. Goodbye. See you again.